Hello my dear YouTuber friends, and I hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to this new video, which is a continuation of my must visit places in Flight Simulator 2020. I'm going to link in the top right for you another video that I made on a must visit place in Flight Simulator 2020. So if you're on the PC or you're going to get Flight Simulator for the Xbox when it releases, come along and fly with me to these must visit places. Now, we couldn't do a must visit places series of videos without visiting one of the incredible US cities. And today we're going to be flying over the awe-inspiring Los Angeles. Okay, so again, as always, we're on the title screen. We'll go to world map to find Los Angeles. As you can see, the globe's there. I'm not going to type in anything in the search bar. I know my geography of the states roughly. So I'll zoom in on the west coast here. And you can see Los Angeles International Airport there. What I'm going to do is zoom in. Left click, zoom to details, and take off going in a easterly direction. So runway 6 right is fine. Left click, set as departure. It's morning in the UK, just about here at the moment. So it's night time on the west coast of the US. Actually over most of the US. I'm going to forward that time zone so it's around midday-ish. I've got the Cessna chosen. Let's go fly. And okay, we're at Los Angeles International Airport, runway 6 right in the Cessna, as you can see there. Let's just get straight up, shall we? Throttle up, release the parking brake, and let's go for a fly around Los Angeles. Now, this was among one of the first areas I flew around in Flight Simulator when it first released, back last year now. Just wanted to see what the major US cities looked like. And it blew my mind, and indeed today it still does. Now, if you've taken off to the east or towards the east like I have, you're heading in the right direction for the main sort of build-up of the busy areas, or the sort of main big buildings around Los Angeles, which you can see slightly to our left there. So we'll head towards them. Let's jump outside while I'm still configuring. So already, lots of individual bespoke photogrammetry buildings coming into play there. You've got the mountain ranges framing the whole city, which is lovely. And it's just a fun area just to go and fly around. Have no set agenda. Take off from maybe Los Angeles International like I have, and just go and fly around the area. Maybe follow, I've done that often in fact around the US, just followed a couple of the main highways just to see where it would take me, and just to see what amazing sight like that you'll come across next. And I've got to say, around the US and Canada, these are must-visit places in Flight Simulator, simply because of the build-up of the cities and just the impressive mega giant buildings you get around the US as well. So you've got Los Angeles, Washington, and New York, of course. and you know, in Canada, Ontario, and different places like that. Just go and fly around them because they are mightily impressive. Just the sheer number of buildings you get and built up areas. Very, very impressive. You know, I've never been to the US. I've been to Jamaica a couple of times in real life, but I've never been to the US. It's definitely on my bucket list of places to go and visit in real life. And I love baseball as well. So taking in a couple of live baseball games is definitely on my list of things to do. But this is the closest I'm going to get to it for now. And yeah, I'm always flying around the US cities. Like I said, no set agenda generally. I don't set a flight plan. I take off and just start following highways, and if I see buildings in the distance like this, I'll go and fly towards them. It's just incredible to do. Let's jump outside to give you a more spectacular view there. Look at that. And with the World Update, I believe this was World Update 2 for the US, it did flush out a lot of these cities, started adding a lot more buildings and greenery and goodness knows what, just to make them look more authentic. And they certainly did a grand job of doing that. Oh, lovely, look at that view you get. And remember, when the Xbox version releases, you'll be getting all the world updates to date. So the US, Japan, Europe, places like France, and the UK, of course. That was a mightily impressive update as well. You're going to get these all with the Xbox version sort of default release. So this is not add-on scenery. This is what you should be seeing as well. Isn't that impressive? Wow. Let's just decrease our altitude a bit so we get a better view of that. Ah, lovely. And performance and visuals should be on par, at least with what you're seeing here on the Xbox. So you're seeing the PC version here, of course, but the Xbox version should be on par or better than this. Lovely, lovely. And like I said, I've got no set agenda. I'm just flying around as I normally do. Wow. Wow. Just giving you a tour of the area. Like I said, you've got all these different bespoke buildings. Now, with the photogrammetry scenery, you can see these buildings here are not fully rendered out. That's a bit of a caveat with the photogrammetry scenery. A lot of buildings, especially the main buildings and famous buildings, will be fully rendered. But a lot of the others are not, or a few of the others are not. And that's the same way in places like London and France and goodness knows what. I do hope Asobo managed to sort that out, so we get fully rendered buildings on all buildings, not just the main famous buildings. Because it does detract from the experience a little bit. Especially when I'm flying over London, there's a lot of crumpled looking buildings, and it's simply the way the photogrammetry has translated the scenery to the simulator, or the way the simulator has translated the photogrammetry scenery. And I appreciate it's a lot of work for them to do, but yeah, it really needs to be done to get the full experience. But otherwise, as you can see, absolutely spectacular looking, no doubt. And then if you want to, go and fly over those mountains or between those mountains, see what's on the other side. Like I say, it's pretty much something I would be doing normally. I'll go for a couple of hour flight and just fly around and then use my map to find the nearest airport, or use the ATC to find the nearest airport. It's just wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. So I'll fly on a little bit further just to give you more of a... Incredible, isn't it? More of a tour of the area. I've never been here, so I don't know particularly the names of the buildings or the areas or goodness knows what, but that's part of the fun, isn't it? Like I said, there's so many US cities and cities around Canada as well that are a must fly around. Just simply showing you one of the select cities here. Lovely, lovely. San Francisco, which is quite close by in fact to here. You could fly from here to there, and that's another incredible, wonderful city to fly around. Obviously some very famous landmarks in San Fran as well. Oh, look at that lake. Or small pond, or whatever it is. Lovely. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Always takes my breath away. And you've got other built-up areas, maybe not so much built up as the previous area I've just showed you, but more areas to go and discover around here. And then you get a view of that main cityscape. And, you know, there's nothing quite like it in Flight Simulator. The US really does have the trademarks of impressive looking cityscapes, really. Love to see that in real life. And then what I would do is fly on and discover more places. But you know what? I don't want to spoil this for you. There's places you can go and discover here for yourself. So, ladies and gents, I shall leave it there. Let me know your thoughts on the video. Give it a like if it's been helpful for you or helpful to you. What are you most looking forward to fly around in Flight Simulator? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you soon.